Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can feel free to contact me at 339-1670. Those of you who have properties to sell, you can also contact me. You lend your friend and your family your hard-earned cash and you cannot get it back, get in touch with Real Talk Debt Collection Department, and they will be glad to assist you in getting back your hard-earned cash. Now remember, viewers, to like and share the Real Talk page. We do bring the events of the day on our page. Information that we share on our page with you, the public. So you all would know what is taking place in Trinidad. You can also subscribe to YouTube, TT Real Talk, subscribe, hit the bell, and you will know when we go live on TV. Now remember, viewers, Real Talk is a live program from Monday to Friday on Synergy TV from 7 to 8 p.m. with a rerun the following day from 10 a.m. So if you miss it during the night, you could catch it during the day. And if you look at it during the day, well, then you would know that we have a live broadcast from 7 to 8 p.m. Now, our studio lines are 238-6716. Feel free to call in. Let me hear what you have to say. Now, like I said on my previous show, tonight we are going to deal with the population that the government says that is non-essential business. So if you are a non-essential business owner, according to the words from the ministers, feel free to call in and let us know, let the public know, let outside countries know how it is affecting you in your business. So feel free to call in tonight, 238-6716, as we start our show tonight. Any other incidents that happen in your community, in your village, feel free to call in. Even let us know what is taking place and in Trinidad and what you think about the COVID-19. Is the government response to COVID-19? Are they doing enough? Did they plan on time? Should they have better discussions? Let me hear from you tonight. So tonight, Thursday and Friday, we want to hear from the non-essential business. This is the words that was used from those in authority that governs Trinidad and Tobago. So let us hear from you. As we start off tonight's program, there is a possibility, or is there a possibility of hidden cases of COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago? This is according to the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Roshan Parasram.
As we discussed a couple of days ago, there's the possibility of hidden contacts. And that is the most dangerous thing in any epidemic, where we have cases being contacted by persons who they don't know, and they're moving about freely and continue to do so, and they contaminate that entire area. So let us not use this as a source for the people in the unaffected areas as shown on the map. And don't be complacent. We have asked the country to go on a state of lockdown because we don't know where the hidden cases are going to be.
The CMO released 2 maps showing the geographical location of COVID-19 case in the country. The first map shows the location of laboratories cases.
So the first map that I wanted to show are laboratory confirmed COVID-19 cases in Trinidad and Tobago. This is the first of 2 maps. So if you look at the chart, the size of the red circle gives an indication of the actual number of cases in those particular areas. So if you start with Tobago, we see that Tobago has two cases shown on the map. And if you move across to Trinidad, the cases starting on the northwest, there's a cluster along the east-west corridor that leads further down into the Caroni area towards Couva and Shogunas, and then we see it going along the western border all the way down to Pinal, Separia, those areas passing through San Fernando.
Now viewers, the second map showed where there are some primary and secondary contacts.
This gives an indication of how cases have moved during, and it does not map all 90 cases. This is just an example. It gives movement for 10 of the 90, and the green lines represent how secondary cases, the blue dots, are secondary cases or potential secondary contacts. The yellow dots are tertiary. So it gives you some idea of the movement across the country. So what we're seeing, you can see a primary case in the northwest of the country moving all the way down to the south. So there's no limit to the movement that any one case can have.
So now viewers, there you have it concerning the maps, the geographical view of it, plus where the secondary cases, how they travel, how they function. So we want to hear from you tonight. Tonight and tomorrow being Friday, I want to hear from the non-essential business. This is the word that was used by those in authority. So feel free to call the line. If you have a friend or a family in the non-essential business, feel free to call in. Caller, good night.
Hello, Said. Good night.
Go right ahead.
The Minister of Social Development, they had put some numbers on the papers that you could call in or text. And up to today, when you're calling or you're texting, no answer. These people on games, no answer at all. How long they put it on and texting. All you're getting is busy line. The line can't be so busy as a person can't get through. And even when you text, she said, when you text, you'll get an answer reply right away. Well, I tire text. And nothing. And two, senior citizens who sign up for their money to go to their respective banks. We asking her, please.
Yes.
But the IT division or what send these people money to their respective bank instead of they having to climb on one another back.
True.
And then they're telling me social distancing. When these people want their money, people from far coming to collect their check. We must understand that. I wish you could address that situation.
Not a problem.
Send people money once they have a account, send it to the respective bank. Okay, Mr. Said?
Thank you very much for calling. Health Minister Terence Dial Singh is fearing that we can face a possible depletion in our medical supplies. Did they plan properly? I remember someone saying they don't see it fit to discuss that presently. That was about almost a month back. This explains is if citizens do not heed the call of the government to stay at home in order to prevent widespread infections of COVID-19. When the President of Trinidad and Tobago made the proclamation in January about COVID-19, did the House took it serious? Did the speakers took it serious? Did the senators of the House, those that sitting up on the big black chairs, did they take it serious? No, we don't see it fit to discuss that. But the President of Trinidad and Tobago knew it was a dangerous virus. The President knew that. And she made a proclamation in January. But don't worry, that's not important. We have 5 deaths. We up to 94 confirmed cases. And just 1 was discharged. Right now in China, they have the leading death. Not China. In the US, they have the leading death rate. The leading. Now listen to this, eh? All of a sudden, we racing to death. We racing to death. Yeah. A virus have us racing to death. But it's not important. Minister Dial Singh. Wait. Minister Dial Singh made this statement at this morning media briefing.
Today, April the 2nd, marks an inflection point, a turning point in how we treat with COVID-19. If we as a society heed the warnings of the Prime Minister, the Minister of Health, the Chief Medical Officer, the Commissioner of Police, civil society, and if we stay home, our healthcare resources will not be depleted.
I go run up a clip from Barbados just now. Director, get it in gear. Listen to this, eh? He added that with the impact of COVID-19, it is harder to get supplies.
If we behave in a manner that is contrary to all the advice that we have been given out, I fear that we could have a depletion of scarce resources. I say this because, as you know, international supply chains have been affected globally.
Now, viewers, Barbados have 46 cases. Trinidad have 94. And listen to this clip from Barbados. You do have it? Not yet? All right. They're getting it ready. I'm going to tell you something. Remember the minister said we have it under control? We have it under control. They have it under control by paying $85,000. I should say rent for Balandra. While we have the Cuba Hospital put down, just waiting. We don't have to pay no rent. We have doctors and nurses in the healthcare to put over there, but we rather pay $85,000. Not a problem. That's all your thing. That's how all of this do. All your maths. That's how all of this save money. Listen to this. Health Minister Terence Singh has assured that CAFA have more than 3 weeks supply of stocks. He cleared the air on this concerns. He cleared the air on this concern earlier. The minister said, the words of CAFA, Dr. Lisa Indaro, were mistrusted, miscontrusted at the media conference yesterday. Minister Dayal Singh insisted that the organization has stocks on 3 levels. We'll get a video for you as we move along. So there's a misconception between CAFA and the Minister of Health. So we in a dilly-dally now. CAFA says 3 weeks supply. The minister says 3 different levels of stock. So who we believe in now? Who we believe in now? Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Yes, Mr. Saieed. Now they're telling people to stay home. Now, when pensioners have to be coming out on a daily basis to check their account,
Correct.
and to get to the bank, you understand? Because they are not spending them money on time, you understand? Tell me what they're doing. Are they keeping people off the street? Huh? I know of one disability person, right? She normally does get $2,000 a month, right? And she have to be going on a daily basis to check her account to see if the money come. And when the money do come, $700 short of the money, right? This is causing people to fluctuate around the bank and the fast food service machine, you understand?
Yeah.
And the social welfare officers send the people money if it's a little 2-3 days before the month up, so that people won't have to be fluctuating.
Correct.
Groceries and these things.
Thank you, caller. They have it well planned. You have it well planned. You want people to come off the street. You want people to stay home. You know month-end coming up. You make a plan for unemployment relief grants. You make a plan for rental grants, but nothing is in effect. Nothing. We have it under control. We have it under control. The only thing they have under control is the money that they're getting from all these big organizations. That is what they have under control. I'll look at organize the clip for viewers, listen this clip from Barbados. Keep in mind, just now, we have 94 confirmed cases in Trinidad up to this time that I'm on TV. We have 5 deaths. Barbados have 46, and listen to what they are doing.
Avoidance of any doubt, the curfew which we impose on this country is a 24-hour curfew, unless there is legitimate business which will require you to leave your home and to be on the road. You can only be on the road to go to the pharmacy, to seek medical assistance, or if you are part of the essential services, or if you are doing business with any of the businesses which are exempted under this order. Therefore, as of 5 p.m. tomorrow, Friday the 3rd of April, all supermarkets and mini-marts shall remain closed until further notice. We are in discussions with supermarket owners to see how we can certainly be able to provide through electronic commerce, as well as perhaps a staggering of allowing persons across the country to be able to access the services, particularly the most vulnerable in that category, to allow them to be able to fulfill specific grocery orders. And those discussions are ongoing, and we will continue to update the country as it relates to that. There are thousands who buy their groceries every day from what in Barbados we consider the village shops. And I want the public to appreciate that we have not placed the restriction on the village shops because we understand and appreciate that will normally visit the village shops in order to get basic groceries. That said, we have in the order obviously indicated to the country that we can have no more than 3 persons congregating at a time, and for also the purpose of the village shops that no alcoholic beverages will be able to be sold.
46 cases, and that is what they put in place. 46. We have close to 4 million people in Trinidad. And that is what Barbados put in place, and their confirmed cases are only 46. So what we doing now? You tell me. 5 deaths. What we doing? As of tomorrow, being Friday, they're on a 24-hour curfew. You know why? They understand how serious it is. They understand how serious it is. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Right. Each day they're having this media briefing. And I want to know where is the position of Mr. Paris Ram. Why do he, because every day they are announcing for people to stay away and stay home. Why you do not say publicly and advise the Prime Minister to keep the state of emergency, to keep everybody out, because they are saying they are working with the directive of the medical people. Because if we do not do that publicly and ask the Prime Minister to do that, when this gets out of hand, the government will throw everything on him.
Exactly.
Because he is advising.
Yep.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, my friend. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parashram said the 4,000 kits from China are not defective. This comes even after, as countries are rushing to cancel their order from China. He said the kits are being used by CAFA. Now this is the same CAFA. This is the same CAFA. The Minister of Health is saying that they have a problem. See if we can get a clip where the minister saying it's not 3 weeks supply. He said that there is not 3 weeks supply. You understand? I'm going to tell you something. The minister cleared the air on concerns earlier. The minister said the words of CAFA, Dr. Lisa Indar, misconstrued at a media conference today. Minister Dayal Singh insisted that the organization has stocks on 3 levels and not 3 weeks supply. Right? So hear this now, eh? Dr. Roshan Parashram said, the kits, the kits from China are presently being tested and used by CAFA. By CAFA. So apparently, CAFA don't know what is going on. I'm just saying something. I'm just saying something. I'll follow me closely now. Call her good night.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
I would like to know, please, what the government is doing with the people's 10% and the cola.
Thank you, my friend. According to Dr. Parashram, these are not the faulty kits that other countries brought from China. So how do we know that? How do we know if the kit will work or not unless we test it? That is the only way we would know. Head on a block. Don't jump out and say, well, you know, them is not the kits and China making the kit. They're supplying it to the world. Countries complaining, but we saying it's perfect kit. We have tried yet, but it's perfect. He explained that we are using PCR kits which were not the rapid kits. Dr. Parashram said those faulty kits that were reported were the rapid kits. All right, let me tell you something. I was saying before this thing hit Trinidad and Tobago, we go end up in a problem. Call her good night.
Saeed, good night.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, all you're getting is conflicting reports. The Minister of National Security telling you one thing. The Minister of Health telling you something else.
Yep.
The Prime Minister telling you something else. The poor Commissioner of Police, poor fella, sorry for him, but they paying him for yo-yo. You understand? He can't even get a word in as he says something. All of them saying down there on the panel, cocks, walks, all of them. They're just contradicting everything. The Minister of Health, he keeps telling us what he thinks we want to hear. CAFA must know what they have there. That's a doctor. She wouldn't come out and say they have 3 weeks supply when they have more than that. They keep always lying to the public, not letting us know the truth. And it's only politics. You see how much they're paying rent in Balandra? Why they couldn't carry them people in Cuba hospital and put them on bed? Right? Because somebody owned Balandra, they're getting that money. People want their income tax return now. That's in audit for years. Years, Saeed, that you work 8 hours a day. They tax you on your salary. This is business tax. Up to now it's in audit. I know what they're auditing still. Like when Robin said freeze cola. They can't give you your money. No, people need money to buy
if
food.
We behave in a manner.
Them groceries had to shut down, you know. Everything going to shut down, Saeed, and that's when people will get the message. And them on top need to start speaking the truth because somebody will be telling on somebody later on to come. Thank you, Saeed.
Thank you, my friend. Now, let me tell you something, viewers. I want to hear from the people that the government say that they are non-essential. I want to hear from all tonight. I want to know if the business place that painting red and selling chicken, if them essential. I want to know if the tire shop not essential. I want to know if the mechanic not essential. I want to know if the doubles man not essential. Because the doubles man, you could buy, you could... Doubles man, I want 2 to go. Brisk, 2 and you're gone. Doubles man, I want 3. Slide pepper, 3 and you're gone. But the place painting red, selling chicken. They have a line, and that's showed up picture yesterday, up in Grandy. Social distancing, and they jam up one another. That is an essential business for Trinidad and Tobago. While the poor keep getting poorer, the rich keep getting richer without their business shutting down. You see, when you see have foolishness and madness taking place in Trinidad, my mouth they start to echo, you know. My mouth they start to echo, you know. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
We need to get more test kits. All right? They give out a certain money to the health organizations, Northeastern Health Authority, and what do they do with that money? They've given Mr. Boynton a limit.
Thank you, my friend. I want to know why we paying $85,000 a month. That is what I want to know. Why we doing that? We have a big hospital in Cuba. All the time they're balling, it's a good. One virus hit we. And all on a sudden they have 100 beds in it. All on a sudden. A man called me yesterday. He said, Saeed, we are getting food. See if I get money line. I want to come and say, Saeed, my family bring a kettle for me. He said, up to now, me I get it. Call a good night.
Hi, good night, sir.
Go right ahead.
I'd like to find out, you know for sure if the renewal of passports I can't totally cancel until the COVID is up?
Call, I didn't hear what you said clearly.
Do you know if the renewal of passports in the immigration office are totally canceled?
Oh, the renewal. I think they put a halt on everything for now.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for the information.
Thank you for calling in, my friend. The government is moving ahead with its plan to reduce the population in the nation's prison as a result of COVID-19. This morning, Attorney General Faraz Al-Rawi released information as to the number of prisoners who would be released.
I can tell you that at the remand end, we have looked at non-violent offences, referred to as minor offences particularly, and the number that we've come up with so far from a cross-reference from the prisons data and the court is approximately 149 people. On the convicted side, persons serving sentences right now, we have approximately 239 people.
The Attorney General explained, though this is only for specific prisoners.
We have people who are serving sentences for matters including failure to pay maintenance, traffic offences, obscene language, resisting arrest, a number of matters that really ought to be considered as minor offences. We also have the remnants of people on marijuana charges where the amounts were above the dangerous drugs limit of 60 grams, 30 grams when we were looking at that. On the convicted side, we have a similar position where categories of offences such as those that I've just described are also there in conviction. Quite remarkably, the data from the prisons demonstrates that we have people in prison for 3 months, 6 months again, with sentences certainly all under 12 months for minor offences.
AJ Al-Rawi said, however, this process would be similar to that under Dangerous Drugs Act.
In this total construct, I can inform that Mr. Fayed Hussein, Senior Counsel, a well-reputed constitutional attorney, leads a team on behalf of the Attorney General, and we certainly have the experience of approaching the court in this type of structure where we took a very novel approach in the dangerous drugs for the marijuana releases. You'll recall in December of this year, where we went to the court and brought forward all of the persons who were in prison and who met the criteria. We roughly sorted out approximately 516 people that fit that criteria.
Okay, one question. One question. Is there COVID-19 in prison? If the answer is no, why are we releasing these individuals to come out of the prison into the public domain and get infected? Simple question. Why? Why? If there is no COVID-19, coronavirus in prison, I'm just asking something. To those in powers that be, I'm just asking something. Why are you releasing them into the public domain to be infected with, let's just say, community spread? Or people coming in contact with someone who have it? Why are we doing that? Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Saieed, I'm calling concerning the maxi taxi drivers. We haven't gotten any pay yet.
No payment?
And no payment and since January.
Okay.
School closed and since the virus, we haven't gotten any money. So, and if the country shut down now, we don't have any money to make groceries or buy anything.
Thank you, my dear. You see, this is the program where you can call and highlight your matter, you know. You're getting your chance, you know. Now listen to this, finishing up concerning the prisoners. He assured that the process is one that was given a lot of thought.
This is not a knee-jerk reaction. It is certainly not a position which is inconsistent with the government's argument on bail. I want to remind, because I've paid attention to some of the commentary coming from the opposition in particular, we are still very firm that the very serious offences, and especially possession of firearms, possession of automatic weapons, possession of weapons of war, we consider, as we have passed in the Senate and we're still in the House, we consider that those matters for the grant of bail ought to be very seriously circumscribed. And we have proposed in a very novel piece of law that we reverse the burden and that those people approach the court to show why they should be granted bail. In other words, then, we put a very high hurdle to the judicial exercise.
I'm just asking, if there is no COVID-19, coronavirus in prison, why are we letting them out to come into the public to get contaminated? Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
You forget who owned KFC or what?
No Syrian own double box there, you know. And you know who wife is a Syrian? All right.
But to be honest with you, I represent the voice of Trinidad and Tobago. If the doubles man could shut down, if the roti shop on the corner could shut down, if the tire man could shut down, if the mechanic could shut down, if the fisherman who went out in the sea and the Coast Guard sent him back home, if he could shut down, what happened to those people? What happened to them? They're causing a crowd. They're talking about the grocery, they're talking about the supermarket, they're talking about the bank. But that causing a crowd also. It causing a crowd also. Call a good night. Yes, we lost that.
Yes, I will.
You there? No, we lost that. Tell a lie different, you know. I different, you know. 2-3 police jeep going down the road, a tire blow it, that is it. Failure of brakes, that is it. Call a good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling to come to find out about people who work on the garbage truck. If they are allowed to come home by them and pack up on the street for hours and have the truck idling.
Well, I know garbage is an essential thing, but I haven't heard anybody or the minister say anything about garbage. That is what I know. Thus far, I haven't heard anything. You see, you're supposed to plan in case something should happen, what you're going to do. Who should be out and who should not be out. What is essential, what is not essential. The tire shop is essential. A mechanic garage is essential. The big building painting red, where people jamming up, take fried potato like they can't do that. Like they can't do that home. Call a good night.
Hello, good evening, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
This is essential business. But you know, Carib open. That's essential business. and Gavin Griffith, I hear you say you go on the bank and the supermarket and you only say, whoa boy, I the boss. You can't close down no supermarket and no bank. So you see who is the real boss?
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. You see what I am bringing to you? I am not bullying anybody, you know. But what I am bringing to you is the facts. I am not bashing anybody. I am bringing the facts to you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. The small roti shop on the corner. I could get chicken roti to go. 5 minutes, you wrap up and you're gone. Urgent court hearing can now be done via video conferencing. This is possible since the judiciary of Trinidad and Tobago expand its video conferencing capabilities. The judiciary also noted that it has managed to reconfigure its operation to be able to serve the public electronically as far as possible. In its latest advisory, the judiciary has provided email address and phone contact numbers for various divisions providing critical court service to the public. The judiciary further noted that outstanding tickets, fine do not need to be paid until April 20th. So the guy who called me and got the ticket yesterday down in San Fernando, you don't have to worry. You have until the 20th of April. After that, the court should be in process where you could go and pay your fine. So you don't have to worry about summons or police coming to look for you. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead.
Good night, Mr. Ali. Good night.
Caller, I could hardly hear you. You need to speak up a little.
Are you hearing me?
Yes?
Okay. To my beloved country, after listening to everything, if we listen carefully, we have to lose confidence in this government. Because when I look at it, I thought they were speaking the truth, but when you really listen to it, they are speaking a lot of lies. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you. Go right
When
ahead.
you listen to the government, you are listening to a pack of lies. They are just coming up with something. I am losing confidence with this government.
Thank you, my dear. You see, viewers, I understand that we have a situation. I understand that. But do we have a proper strategy in place? Do we? Weeks now you're telling people, social distancing. You all knew month 10 coming. Now you can't satisfy all the people all the time, you know. But listen this. Listen this. You close down the non-essential. You know when month 10 reach, you're going to have a heap of people by the bank. Why not send out the checks earlier? Why not send it earlier? To prevent the gathering outside the banks. Barbados, as of tomorrow, 24-hour curfew. With 46 cases. We're 94. As of 4 p.m. today, there were 94 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago. This is the latest update from the Ministry of Health. The ministry said the first and second case came into contact with a person who tested positive for COVID-19. The third case had a recent travel history, while the fourth case remains uncertain and is being investigated. Meanwhile, in his clinical update this morning, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parashram said one case is in Tobago on a ventilator. He said at Cora, there were 9 patients who were described as stable. The CMO revealed that at Cuba, there were 74 patients. 2 of those were in the intensive care unit, with 1 on a ventilator. So this is the updates. He said there were 15 patients in the high density unit. The remaining 54 were reportedly not confirmed to bed and are in a stable condition. Dr. Parashram said those individuals were asymptomatic and would be moved to another location like Cora, where they will await for their result to show up negative. The Ministry of Health did not say where the 4 cases would be taken. Neither did it give a report on their clinical status. Caller, good night.
Hello?
Yes, go right ahead.
Yes, the same question you asking about the prison having no case and they really... There's a bunch of headless chickens who run in this place. Headless chickens.
Thank you, my friend. So, really, why are we letting them go? Why? We're trying to control an outbreak. But as the AG said, you want 1,000 of them to come out? Why? Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said.
Go right ahead.
Said, this virus either is the most smartest virus ever came across civilization, or we in Trinidad is the most dotish set of people it have on this planet. Why I'm saying this is that this virus, according to what we are doing in Trinidad, could determine who is a doublesman and who is KFC, who is a bar and who is Starbucks, so that the virus will come and infect the doublesman, the people who buying from the doublesman, and it won't infect the people who going in KFC and buying KFC. So infect the people who in the bar, and it won't infect the people who going into Starbucks and buying coffee and whatever they're selling there. It's so smart that the virus know how much is 10 people that associating and how much is 200 lining up, crowded, going into a bank. That is how intelligent this virus is according to Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, my friend.
Yes.
Thank you, my friend. I understand what you're saying. Listen to this, eh? Listen to this, eh? And tell me if we are going to a comedy show. There will be no testing on the bodies of persons who died from COVID-19. Did we just went to a comedy show? Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parashram said, even if the person is suspected to have COVID-19, no testing would be done to confirm this. Listen carefully, you know. He said, this will pose a risk to health workers. A dead body posing a risk to health workers. We have a body lie down stiff. It can't raise the big toe. It can't raise a finger. But this body posing threat. It posing threat to the health worker. Listen to this. We have health worker in Cora. We have health worker in Balandra. We have health worker at Cuba who is up and moving with COVID-19. Confirmed. But the dead man who cannot move if mosquito biting him, if you're beating him with a piece of something, he cannot move. He's a threat to health worker. I want to follow what's going on here now. Follow what's going on here now. Caller, good night.
Said, I totally agree with your last caller. I am confirming what he spoke about.
Yes, yes.
The chief medical officer is supposed to be getting out of that chair he's sitting in there in his cozy suit. He's supposed to get his behind and go and check the hospitals and not take information from whoever it is giving him and just saying what he feels we too want to hear. Because we definitely not getting the truth side. Everybody just comfortable there in the chair, you know, you're above them in the suit, and everybody sit there and the reporters ask questions, and who they want to answer, They answer, and then they want to rough up who they want to rough up. My boy from CNC3. You realize how they just question him?
Thank you, my friend. I understand what you're saying. Let me tell you something. The day you hear I attend to one of them press briefing, they might close it down when it starts, you know. As soon as it starts and I raise my hand, they might want to say this is enough. I'm telling all you. Because let me tell you something. You keep it on media briefing. Use the health minister. You keep it on media briefing. We have to ask you about COVID-19. You ain't saying. Well, okay, we have the media present. I'm going to give you a list of things that we are going to say to be discussing. We're talking about COVID-19. It is a disease right through the world. CAFA right now are doing testing. We, the media, have to ask you. Sometimes I just want to know if we grew up in the jungle, you know. So what do you have in place for security? We do have to ask you that. We do have to ask you that. Come out and tell us, well, hey, concerning security, we have so and so in place. Not me being inside. So, Minister of National Security, what do you have in place for security in Trinidad? No, man. Not like that. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Yes, I want to ask Saieed Ali.
You're live on TV. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask Saieed Ali, Stuart Young column. Then so long and this fire station open and see now we still have one of sling in his hand.
Thank you, my dear. Back to the dead. Dr. Parashram, however, explained that in this instance, samples that were taken previously and clinical symptoms from the patient would be used to determine whether COVID-19 is highly suspected. Somebody wonder. I just wonder. If somebody come in now and he die, and they just want to know what caused it. So if a man walk in the hospital, coughing, sneezing, body temperature high, and he fall dead, boop shot, what are we going to do? Just stick him up and bury him with the family and done with that? Something tells me that they're losing it. Something is telling me that we're losing it. Let me tell you something. Nobody ain't roughing me up here now. Nobody ain't roughing me up for asking a question, you know. Not at all. Because I will ask you, didn't you call this briefing to tell us what's going on and for us to ask you questions? But because you have a title, you want to play. You're invincible. You want to play. You're immune. Let me tell you something. Ministers all over the world are being confirmed for COVID-19. In Trinidad here, we're Iron Man. We're Superman. We can't get it. Call her good night.
Mr. Ali?
Yes, sir.
You ever see how you try to get chin up to a long time and chin it up and put it to the and talk and play by itself?
Thank you, my friend. We's Iron Man in Trinidad. I watching the health, not to say labeling, you know, not to say bashing, you know. But I watching health ministers, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning in other countries, just to keep ahead. So when somebody call me, I could say, well, hey, so and so is the case. When I go home and my wife give me food, and we sit down and we eat, and I don't shower and I sit down, sometimes 3:30, she get, you still watching TV? You still in the computer? Because I want to know what's going on. And the only health minister right now laughing about this COVID-19 is the one who just keep a media briefing in the morning time. No, I telling all you, watch for all yourself. We ain't have a cure for this thing. How much of them it is? It is 90 of them. Prime Minister test came back negative. Let me tell you something. Thank God he ain't have COVID-19. Otherwise, everybody in the ministry, oh gosh, I wonder if I go get it. And oh God, and you're in AC and you're sweating. The minister gets it, oh God, and it's this, and it's that, and you want to rush to put things. Let me tell you something. We had weeks to plan for this. I was telling all of that. Weeks to plan for it. When Jamaica was on red alert, down here we balling, it's not good enough. We cannot talk about it. 5 persons died. 94 of them confirmed. But you know what? We can't talk about that. I'm feeling like tonight is Fire Friday. Viewers, we have about 20 seconds left on our show tonight. A rerun of this program is at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Tomorrow Friday night, tomorrow is Fire Friday. Feel free to share our page because my staff keep the page running up to date with every incident that happened during the day. So viewers, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, you will see my picture, like it and share it, so others may know of Real Talk. Viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, I thank God I'm corona free, COVID-19 free. They might have to test me, I know I'm free. So to you, social distancing, take a little precaution, because let me tell you something, it have no cure. Don't wait till you get it to run inside and hide in a corner, and then you're going to be wondering, oh God, where I went, and oh God, what I do, and you soak up your whole blanket. Don't do that. It's for your safety. Because if you die, you're leaving your wife and your child and your grandmother behind. So viewers, be safe, enjoy the night. Until we meet again, good night.